always roll and the wind never stops. Now this is our town, baby, you and me. It takes a little time, but soon you will see. We got clothes on the line, blowing in the breeze. The kids on the wharf, skipping rocks in the sea. The people are friendly and the children are free. Yeah, our little town is just heaven to me. This is our town, our little town. This is our town, our little town. One day it's up, the next day it's down. This is our town, our little town. Our town, our little town. Our town, our little town. We got church bells ringing, what a heavenly sound. Young boys driving their dad's car around. We got the prettiest girls walking around. Soon they'll be leaving this old town. We got so many leaving, yeah, chasing their dreams. Say there's nothing here, or so it seems. And they will miss it, someday they'll know. They'll want to return to the town they love so. Our town, our little town. This is our town, our little town. One day it's up, the next day it's down. This is our town, our little town.
Good evening. Welcome to this week in review. Tonight's stories include Ticker Tom at Burgeo Academy, First Nations Women Council meeting, firearm safety information. These stories plus the BBS Playbill, Off the Rack, and more coming up after this.
Kidney disease affects an estimated 2 million Canadians. Many don't even know they have it. But thanks to the Kidney Foundation of Canada's innovative programs and vital research, countless people have been able to turn to us to help them manage, delay, and in some cases even prevent the disease. We're the Kidney Foundation of Canada. Please support us. We're behind you, all the way.
On Thursday of this week, Ticker Tom was at Burgeo Academy for students from K to 6. At 11 a.m., students from kindergarten to grade 6 met in the gym for a presentation as part of Nutrition Month. This was organized by the public health nurse with lots of help from the TWIR team, Teresa Peterson with CYN, Krista Standing with the CIS, and of course the teachers. Ticker Tom is a mascot for the public health. His message is written on his heart: eat healthy, be active, stay smoke-free. The students got to meet Ticker Tom during recess, and they were excited to meet him. The focus of the activities were all about healthy eating, being active, and staying smoke-free. The activities began with Darlene Strickland introducing Ticker Tom to everyone and telling the students about some of the activities they would be involved in. The TWIR team invited Ticker Tom to lead the locomotion. they did the bird dance. This was one part of being active, and it looked like the most fun. From there, the students and teachers moved into some exercises with Mrs. Tucker. Next, the students were divided into groups. At the first station, the preschoolers, kindergartens, and grade 1s talked about good nutrition. They were asked to choose a good lunch from the toy food samples. At station number 2, the Troy team did a presentation on staying smoke-free. They gave the students lots of good reasons not to start smoking. Then, to reinforce the idea, they played a game. The third station was the banner pledge. Here, students drew their handprints and printed their names to make a pledge not to start smoking. There were 3 groups, and each group got to do all the activities. There was a prize draw with prizes donated by the public health nurse and the Troy team. TWIR Tom helped to present the prizes. The winners of the T-shirts were Brendan Pink, Joey Compton, and Andrew McDonald. Fruit baskets were won by Jennifer Windsor, Dawson Pink, Cheyenne Piercy, and Brittany Strickland. Chandler Porter won the lunch bag. For those individuals who are trying to make more healthy choices, nutritional labeling is available at the town's largest grocery store. Within the next couple of years, all the town's stores will have products with nutritional labeling, which will help all of us make wiser food choices when shopping. On Friday of this week, we spoke with Grace Young about her experience with the First Nations Women's Council Conference held at Goose Bay. We have with us in our studio today Grace Youngs, and Grace has attended a First Nations Women's Conference. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you, Marie.
That must have been a wonderful experience.
It was a wonderful experience, and a lot of the trip is there to explain because you had to be there in person to understand where a lot of these women are coming from.
Okay.
But a part of it, like, it was explainable.
Yeah. So when did you attend?
We left on March the 13th. I fled out of Stephenville on March the 13th, and we came back again on the 15th. So it was a 2-day conference, but it was a full 2 days, day and evening.
Okay, and that was at Goose Bay, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Now, when you say we, there was other women from Newfoundland that went with you, I guess?
Yes, we had, there was 39 women from Newfoundland, and we had one child that was a year old that attended with us.
Okay. So how many people attended the conference in total?
In total, there was, on average, from Monday to Wednesday, because different days, there was different people coming from parts of Labrador.
Yeah.
So on average, there was from 70 to 100.
Okay. Now, how did you hear about this? Did somebody call and invite you, or?
Well, back in January, Bernard had gotten a call from a lady. She was with the FNI at that time, Michelle Plowman.
Okay.
And this is where they were going to visit 50 different communities that had bands and things like that that were registered. And they were offering just doing a conference then with the women to find out what issues and problems or whatnot was facing Aboriginal women, or what could be done to help better the communities.
Okay, yeah.
So after or during this meeting with Michelle Plowman, she had wanting if anybody was interested in attending this conference in Goose Bay, and so Doris McDonald had nominated my name to go as a part of the facilitator group, gathering the information. So as time went on, I didn't hear anything back, but in March I did get a call, first part of March, and I was selected to go from this area.
Perfect. Now, I should tell people, or we should tell people that you're the secretary for the First Nations band here in Burgeo?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Yeah, I thought that's what your title was.
Yes.
So, so you arrived in Goose Bay. I guess you were had the conference at a motel somewhere, did you, or a conference
Yeah,
center?
well, when we arrived in Goose Bay, we were on a charter flight, so we just got off our flights and we went right to the bus, right to what we called our meet and greet, which was at a church in Labrador. And from there, like, there was our facilitator was Judy White. She is from Con River.
Okay.
So she just done a meet and greet with us, and we just got to know everyone, introduced ourselves, and who we were from, and if we were part of a band or not. 'Cause
Okay.
there was some that wasn't part of a band.
Okay.
And whether you're status, non-status, it all makes a difference when you're in a group of women as this size.
Yeah, okay.
So from then we just had a meet and greet like to about 9 in the evening. Then we went back to our hotels because we were all split amongst the hotels, right?
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah. And like at your meeting now, like was there sessions, like was there information sessions, or did you actually discuss some issues that would be of interest to Aboriginal women, or?
yeah, now our full 2 days was different sessions. The old day it started from 8:30 in the morning and it ran till about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. It was the old day was on different sessions, and we had different facilitators doing different things. And on our first day, on Tuesday morning, I got to take part in what they call a smudging ceremony,
Okay.
which was new to me, so I was really excited to see what it was all about. And a lot of people may, if anyone do know it, they may know it being done with what we call sweetgrass.
Okay.
But we were given the opportunity to do what it's called just sag. It's
Okay.
just what it's called, is a woman's herb. And that's just, it's just a herb that is lit in almost like a glass and ball.
Yeah.
And it just gets the smoke. And you got to take the smoke and it goes right over your body.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
like it's hard to explain it because you almost got to take, you got to take part in this to understand.
To see what it's all
Yes.
about, yeah.
And like say from there, like on different days, we had Joan Burke from Stephenville.
Yeah.
Well, she's the minister responsible for status of women and government of Newfoundland and Labrador. Now she fled with us from Stephenville and she fled back with us.
Yeah.
She spent the old 2 days with us.
Okay.
So we were lucky in that part.
Yeah. On a more personal note, I'm sure this is probably the first time that you've had the opportunity to take part in any Aboriginal conferences or
Yes.
anything, basically. It must have been eye-opening for you?
Oh, very. Like, there's times when people have asked me, like, how do you explain your trip? And I'm like, you can't explain it. You can't explain it to a sense, but like I was telling you, you got to be there to understand. Especially, like we were lucky enough, we had elders from Sheshatshiu
Yeah.
to join us, and I mean, a lot of people see them on TV, but they wonder if that's exactly what they're like,
Yeah.
or that's exactly what they're like, what you see them on TV.
Yeah.
And I mean, to hear these women talk about their lives, all their lives, and now being, most of them are in their late 60s and early 70s, and their lives probably are harder now than they were 20 years
So
ago.
it's really like almost like a personal, like you now, when you hear about people talking about Sheshatshiu and the problems they're having, you can put faces to them. You know those women.
Exactly, and I got pictures of all these elders,
Yeah.
and I've got pictures of some of the kids from Sheshatshiu.
Yeah.
Like I brought all that back home with me. But like you said, now when you hear on news or you hear someone talking about them, you know exactly where they're coming from, and you can explain more now. Like some people just say, it's like that's not what's happening,
Yeah.
but there is a lot of things happening, and these people in these communities are still facing a lot of other challenges.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I don't know if it'll ever be, cleaned up because this is what they got a problem with, so much drugs and alcohol, right?
Yeah. So that was one of the issues that the Women's Council focused on, I'm assuming, is it?
Yes, because in different areas you had your different things. Like Sheshatshiu obviously got more problems than what Burgeo got.
Yeah.
Like with us, I mean, yes, okay, we got minor problems with alcohol and drugs. But in different places like Sheshatshiu and Oakdale and Nain, more of the Labrador communities
Yeah.
are facing a lot more problems.
Yeah.
Right? But like you say, you focused on all of the communities just to see what can possibly be done and see if there's like money available to bring in any programs for the youth and elders and things like that, which are mostly what they focus on, youth and elders.
Okay. Okay. Now that you've been to a conference and you've experienced it, have you got any plans now to try to form a women's council here?
Yeah, well, now this is one of the questions because when I got there, like I said, with a Burgeo being new to the old Aboriginal information that was available, most of the groups have got a organization called NON. That's Newfoundland Association for Aboriginal Women.
Okay.
Basically like that. And they've all already got their groups together. Which, in order to have your group, you have to have a president, you have to have a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer, and 2 representatives.
Okay. All right.
But, you know, it's nice, but when you get involved with this, you have to be involved.
Okay.
It's not something that's going to form today and tomorrow is gone.
Okay.
Because once you're joined into the association,
Okay.
so then you're going to be connected to all the other Aboriginal communities.
Mm-hmm.
So it is something that I am looking at, and I'm hoping maybe after this that some people will come forward and say they're interested in starting this group.
Okay.
But I need other people that are just as interested as I am in order to form this group.
Okay. And a women's group, like you would obviously, I'm assuming you would meet on a regular basis,
Yes.
and you would look at issues for the Aboriginal women within our community.
Yes, because as part of our Burgeo, like the Mi'kmaq, we're connected, like as part of me, I'm affiliated with the Corner Brook Band.
Yeah.
So right now, I was lucky enough that I met a woman from Corner Brook who is president of the association in Corner Brook, Michelle Gillett, and she has offered if we do get enough interest to come out and even just do a consultation with us, just let us know exactly what it is and what the
What
whole
you would
aspect
have
of what the group is.
Okay, what you would have to do. What
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And I met, like I said, I met 5 women from Kine River. Who, they are not a part of this group as well, and they're already their status group, so it makes them a little different too.
Okay.
So it's between us and Kine that would work together and try to start our own 2 associations.
Okay. If there was Aboriginal women out there, excuse me, I know there are because like we've already got a band,
Yes.
so I know that you know there's people out there. Even if, for example, there are women out there that are not, I'll say, have registered status, but they know that in their family background that there was Indian status, there was Indians, and they're probably working on it. Would they also be able to be a part of the women's group if they wanted?
Oh yes, like there was only one group that attended our Aboriginal Women's Conference, and that was mostly the ones from Kine River. They do have their status and everything
Okay.
that falls. And a couple like from in around Glenwood because they're connected to Kine.
Okay, yeah.
So that's how it would be. So I mean, as for myself, I'm non-status.
Okay.
So it doesn't make no difference whether you're status or non-status. If you're of Aboriginal
Descent. Yeah.
you're a part of the old aspect.
Okay.
And like, there's a lot of conferences that are coming up. Like I know there's another one in the March into St. George's. So like I haven't got any information on that, but like there are conferences, and anyone can go if you're at the time. If there's openings, it all comes back to the openings,
Of
whether
course,
they're
yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of things coming up that people can take part in.
Yeah. So you're very interested in this by the sounds of it.
Oh yes, like I said, I hope I can get there next year. Now next year they're hoping to have this conference in Kine River.
Yeah.
And I've already been invited to Kine River in July for the powwow.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether I'll get there in July or not, but I'm hoping that I will get to attend the next conference next year.
Would you say, for you personally, having gone to this conference with Aboriginal women and seeing other Aboriginal women, what they had to go through, for you personally, do you think it was life-changing?
Definitely. Definitely life-changing. Like, sometimes I think back, you sit home and sometimes I grumble whether I got this and whether I've got that.
Yeah.
You know, do I have plenty, of different things? And to see a lot of these women just outside of Burgeo, to see their challenges, what they're facing in life,
Yeah.
is totally different. Like,
Yeah.
you learn to respect and just grab onto anything that you got, because
Yeah.
there's people that only wish they had a quarter of what we got.
It's very eye-opening, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
very eye-opening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I noticed you have a really nice shirt there, and you were telling us a bit before we did the interview. That was a play or a dance put off by the Shishishi young people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was 6 kids from Shishishi as well as 2 adults that was part of it. And they did this play in Shishishi, and they took it, then they were offered to go to Ottawa and to Montreal and places up around there to do this play.
Yeah.
And it's all based on good spirit and the bad spirit.
Yeah.
And it's just the 2 spirits connected together grabbing the kids.
Yeah.
And it's all, but the old play itself is based on Shishishi, with the drinking and the drugs and the different drugs that's coming in and the gas sniffing. And that is what the old play was based on by the kids. And it was just saw that one committed to suicide, and then the two spirits connected together.
And there was no words, it was all music and dance.
Oh yes, no words. That's exactly what it was. It was just
Wow.
complete dancing, and that's exactly how the spirits looked. They were dressed in like a wedding dress, is what it was.
Yeah.
And the bad spirit and the kids were just for doing the different things, showing exactly how everything was done.
Wow.
Yeah.
For anybody now who's interested in being a part of this Women's Council with you, I'm assuming they can contact you for
Yeah.
any information?
Oh yes, they're welcome to contact me at any time, because like I said, I'm only new to this too, so I've got a lot to learn on the road to getting this together.
Yeah.
But like I said, I do need people that are going to be interested in working with me to get this done, because it's going to take a bit of time
Of course,
to
yeah.
organize everything, and to get, I mean, we have to get affiliated with Cornerbrook or wherever we're going to decide who
Yeah.
we're going to run with.
Yeah.
So right now, like I said, that's just me personally leaning towards Cornerbrook, whereas I'm a part of the Cornerbrook band. It would be easier to get the
It will
information,
be easier,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Grace?
No, that's pretty much everything. But like I said, after the Women's Council has been, hopefully if we can get one formed for Burgeo, like I said, there will be a lot of different conferences coming up. So then hopefully other women can get the opportunity to take part in these different conferences, because it is a life experience to go and see.
Okay.
And that's all part of what it was. It was just called The Path to the Good Life. So.
Well, we certainly thank you for coming in and sharing your experience with us. And anytime that you want to come in and give us an update, you're more than welcome.
Okay, thank you, Marie.
Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
They will be our teachers. They will be our business leaders. They will be our decision makers. Where will they get the perspective they need for tomorrow? Katimavik. Young people from coast to coast giving of themselves in a 9-month program of discovery through service learning, stepping out of the ordinary, making a difference in hundreds of communities, helping create a stronger Canada, doing, learning, building our nation, one community at a time.
Did you know that if you let your firearms license expire, you will have to do the firearms safety course over again? It would seem that many residents have let their firearms license expire, only to find out that they have to do the firearms safety course over again. This was the case with a group of individuals last weekend. If you have a position-only license and it expires, you will not be able to renew it. You will have no choice but to apply for a position and acquisition license and do the training required for this license. We visited the Canadian Firearms Centre website for some information. Here's what we found. A renewal notice and a partially completed renewal application form will be sent to you approximately 90 days before the expiry date of your current license. You will need to complete and return the application as soon as possible, along with the appropriate fee payment. The Firearms Centre will need at least 3 weeks to process the application and issue a new license. If your license is about to expire, but you do not have received a renewal application form, you can download one from the Firearm website or call their toll-free number. There are advantages of renewing your license before it expires. One of the most important is that the position-only license is only available as a renewal of an existing license. If you let your position-only license expire, you will have to get a position and acquisition license, including meeting the firearm training, if you want to own or use firearms. You can avoid the risk of having your registration certificate revoked and losing your grandfathered privilege for any prohibited firearms you may possess. You can also avoid the risk of penalties or unlawful possessions of firearms. It's your responsibility to renew your license before it expires to avoid the possible complications and consequences of not renewing on time. If you are interested in doing a firearms safety course, you can contact the College of the North Atlantic at 643-7825. Or if you would like to contact the Firearms Centre for more information, you can contact them at their toll-free number, 1-800-731-400, or visit their website at www.cfc/cafe.ca. GC. Stay with us for Off the Rack and the BBS Playbill, all after this.
They say if you want a wish to come true, never tell anyone. But there is one wish that can make the difference between life and death. And this wish can only come true if you tell someone. Please, let your family know you want to be an organ donor.
Off the Rack. This week, as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of the Burgeo Volunteer Fire Department learning how to use the jaws of life. Let's look back to March the 30th, 1997.
Another way to access the door. Let's broaden them out to open this up, okay? Another way to get the door to come around when you want it. When the tool gets hard with the tool, drop it. Let somebody else go to work for you.
BBS Playbill. Try your luck on Wednesday by playing UEY TV Bingo. On Thursday, join us for a rebroadcast of the Bandwagon from 1990. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. Please stay tuned now for the Bandwagon from 1990. For This Week in Review, I'm Marie Rose. Good night and God bless.